Hello everybody, we're back in the Lone Star Mopars shop. What we're going to do today is actually unbox a little something we ordered in. Placed the order on Tuesday, we received it Thursday. That's essentially a 2-day transit time. What we've got here, generally anywhere in the country is going to be, I believe, 2 to 3 day, maybe 4 day at the worst. They've kind of got warehouses, positioned. If you can see the tag here, recognize the logo. This is actually a box from Zaino. You can check them out online, www.zainostore.com. That's Z-A-I-N-O. And what we have here is their Ultimate Protection Show Car Kit. Part number, if you're interested, would be ZKit-2. This one retails $116.95. Freight, I believe is a standard flat rate, $9.95, basically $10. It's really not too bad. This kit here, if anyone cares, it was 8.5 pounds. They do offer ZKit-1, which is their total protection car show kit. However, it doesn't have the leather cleaner or the tire gloss. So, without further ado, what we're going to do is come in, open it up, actually show you what you get, kind of go over a few of the particulars. This will be our first experience with Zaino. If you're unaware, maybe you've got your Mopar, you try to clean it up, take it to some shows. You're not happy with the off-the-shelf stuff, which sadly, whether you're at Walmart, whether you're AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Checker, Scrager, Trugs, whatever that is, we don't have access to here. Pet Boys, which we don't have access to. Napa. Regardless what your local parts store is, even if you got one maybe a little more upscale or carry something diverse, you're not going to find Zaino there. Could be a few retailers here and there, but my advice, when possible, buy direct. First thing I noticed, this is actually packed very well. I'm sure they sell a lot of these, but I mean, just a little time to position this with the insets in the box, which I'll show you here in a second. That actually keeps everything from swirling around, tells you they actually care a little bit about it. What we have here, first thing out of the box, I guess we get 3. What these are, they will be known as the Zaino custom polish applicators. It's essentially, it's a rectangle, it's 4x5. This will be your 4 and this will be your 5 side. The reason these are nice, this is incredibly soft. It's also white. Again, you're not going to find something of this quality at the local parts store. It's the little things that count. If you note on this seam, I'm not sure the camera will even pick it up, but it's reverse stitched. Why is that important? We don't want to put scratches in our paint when we're actually applying polish, of all things. We have one side that's bordered free, almost like a taco shell. Seams are sealed. When you buy the either of the kits, actually, if you spend over $25 before freight, you get 2. Not quite sure why I got 3, but hey, I'm not going to complain. We'll come in here. I'd like to do this in order, but I just kind of take it as it comes. What we have here, it's a, I believe it's 1.5 inch tall, 8 inch long Zaino show car polish. You can't tell with the wrap on, but it's actually a metallic silver. Got a silver car. Really, silver looks good with pretty much anything, particularly on tinted windows. If you don't mind telling people what you use to get your car to look good, put it on. Otherwise, it'll look pretty good on a toolbox. Anywhere you can stick it. Maybe if you've got a lenient wife, it'll go indoors. I'm going to go ahead and tilt the box down now. I actually want to show you. If anyone does anything in freight or shipping, you know how expensive boxes can be. The fact that they're willing to pay a little extra for these dividers tells me a lot about the company. Again, that's not going to make a whole heck of a lot of sense to a lot of people, but if you ever in a position where you have to purchase boxes for your company to ship products, you'll be amazed how expensive they are. Little insets like this don't seem like much. They're actually quite expensive, even in bulk. Let me go ahead and get these out. That is incredibly soft, and that's like walking on a cloud. I would imagine. This is not part of the kit. This is actually, I wanted white, but they were on back order. So what this is their blonde border-free towel. It's a pack of 3. I believe the price was $24.95. I jotted a part number down for everybody. Let's see if I can find it. Well, maybe I didn't put a part number down, but regardless, you know, blonde border-free, they have white. What do we mean by border-free? Well, quite simply, there's not a border. Again, why would that be important? It's the same as our custom applicators. You've got the border on your microfiber towel, and that's the one rough edge where you could potentially scratch your surface. Again, you're going to use this, you know, with a quick detail type stuff, maybe even polish and buff, you know, turning it frequently. But there's no border. No border equals no risk. Money well spent, in my opinion. That's really good size. I can't even get it far enough back for the camera to take it all in for you. I want to say it's 12 by 12. I could be wrong. Let me, I have a tape here on the bench. So I've never actually had to use it during the video. We'll see what it is, just so you know. I apologize, that is bigger than 12 inches. It looks like it's going to be about 16 and a half. I may be pulling it a bit, but you know, regardless, you know, we'll call 15, 16 inches. Again, I can't tell you how, I mean, my personal towels aren't that soft. I mean, I imagine there's great absorbency here. Again, not part of the kit, but I would recommend picking them up just for the simple fact you can't get anything that good local. You know, even a specialty store like a Bed Bath & Beyond, which you probably don't want to go into anyway. Here we go. This is something you don't see very often. Of course, the packing slip is blue. I won't waste your time with that, but directions, you know, that is quite intense compared to the typical, you know, minuscule amount we can fit on a bottle. So, you know, again, kudos for that. We'll set it to the side. Alright, let me see here. This is going to be our Z2 show car polish. Again, you know, it's in a nice bottle, labeled clearly. Gives the features, has directions on the bottle, so the sheet, you know, is just kind of a bonus. This has got optical enhancers in it, is what I wanted to highlight. The reason that's important, essentially you can apply this, do it correctly, you're going to get 6 months out of it. The only caveat is, first time you apply it, you've got to use their flash cure accelerator, which is included. And then what you can actually do with this is layer it. You can do up to 3 and I believe 24 hours with this flash cure kit. You can see that vial in there, and then 4 bottles. You actually can use that to set everything up. It should have all the proportions and everything. I won't go into that much detail at this point in time, but very nice setup. I know some people care, so it actually smells really good. I know if I didn't check that out now, that's probably one of the things people would leave a comment asking is, what does it smell like? So can't really tell you what it smells like. I'll just tell you it doesn't smell bad. Next up, we've got in the jar, which is extremely nice for the simple fact if you have a clay bar, you can't really reseal it. So by being able to place it back in the jar, if say you just had to do your, you know, the front fascia or something, you could potentially get more life. You can put it back in, it won't dry out. The clay bar you will want to do after you wash, you know, before you polish, kind of get a nice good surface. You get 2 2-ounce bars in this kit. They've got all the directions. I believe you can use one of their quick detailers, just kind of mist it down, or what they recommend, just because it's more cost efficient, is to actually take their Z7 car wash, dilute it quite a bit with water, put it in a spray bottle and use that. Of course, you can't use a clay bar dry. Some people, but don't do it. A dry clay bar will make a mess. It'll just give you more heck you'll have to deal with when you do it the right way. So very nice that it's in this jar. So plus you can reuse it for nuts and bolts, you know, something to that effect. Alright, this is going to be our Z9 and Z10. Obviously the Z9 will be used first. It is their leather soft. This was not included in Z-Kit 1, so that's one of the step-ups. you got 3 products extra. These 2 in the tire cleaner that wasn't included with the basic show car kit. This is part of the ultimate protection kit. The spray cleaner, obviously it does what it says. It's going to actually spray, clean, lift soil. Don't have to use much, I believe. You just let me see here, I tried to highlight some of it for you. Spray on, wipe off, dry with a towel, and you're basically done. And then you're going to come in with the Z10 leather in a bottle. In addition to this having actual built-in UV protectants in it, what is very interesting about it is that it actually has real leather oil in it. So as you know, over time your leather will start to dry out and crack, which a couple Z9 and Z10 together you won't have to deal with, but you lose the smell. A lot of people associate the new car smell, for example, the Mopar 10 still has a distinct smell. That's just the leather inside. So this will actually restore that smell. And again, I know someone's going to ask, so I'll go ahead and check it out for you. And yeah, I mean, it smells like leather. So, if you don't like that smell, my advice would be to put it on and get an air freshener or something. I mean, most people don't object to leather, but like I said, if you can't handle it, go ahead and do it for the sake of your interior, and just move on from there. Alright, this is our Z5, world's best car polish. What this is actually formulated for is for swirl marks. This is essentially going to be the same as Z2, but it has special fill polymers. And so, say that you're just stepping up, you've been using something you're not happy with. Whenever you polish your car for the first time, of course, you'll go in clay bar and everything, and then come in with the Z5 first. I believe you can layer it as well. Don't quote me on that at this point. But again, if you do have scratches, swirl marks, go ahead, hit it with this. Pretty sure you can layer it. Again, I'm not 100% on that, but let's see what this is. Alright, this is our Z7 show car wash. I believe what you actually do, if I remember correctly, 1 cap to 1 gallon of water. And I'm interested to see if this is true, what Zaino claims. What usually happens to me, I use turtle wax, which I'm actually pretty happy with their wash. And it smells like those green suckers you used to get at the bank. I don't think they do that anymore. But what happens with it, that and McGuire, everything else I've used for soap, I've tried them all. And again, I'm not totally disappointed with them. It's just part of the kit. I'm going to try it out. But what happens to me, I'm going along, I start up top, do the hood. By the time I get back to the quarter panels, particularly on the Charger or the truck, bigger vehicles, my suds are gone. It's not that I applied them all, it's just I'm basically then using, water with minuscule amounts of soap that's not really going to clean. They claim that the cap in a gallon of water, is going to handle anything. That right there will make this bottle 16 ounces. I think they act like you could do 20 plus washes. I'll kind of check all that out as I go. Again, I'm sure someone's going to want to know if it smells. Doesn't smell bad. It's kind of like one of the blue suckers from the banks. I don't know if that's going to make sense to people, but I always thought they were pretty cool. So, again, it doesn't smell bad is the main thing to consider here. This should be our tire dressing. Yes, it is Perfect Tire Gloss. There's Z16. This is the 3rd item that distinguishes the Total Protection Car Show Kit from the Ultimate Protection Kit. The Z9 leather cleaner and the Z10 leather in a bottle, plus this Perfect Tire Gloss is actually what sets it apart, why I went ahead and popped for the Ultimate Kit. Main thing I was interested in this, they said it wouldn't be greasy. I mean, I've used all kinds of stuff on tires. They'll look great, but the problem is, you get greasy, your fingers will actually just, be covered the tips in black. That always bothers me. Again, this actually has UV sunscreen shield in it. Main thing with this, they don't, I think, offer something, dedicated to trim or detailing hoses, weather strip. Just use this. It's all rubber. I believe you could use it, on vinyl trim. I don't think I'd use it on vinyl upholstery. They've probably got something for that. Just basically for this one, put it on a sponge, go from there, should be good. And that basically leaves us one item in the box, which there you can kind of get a better view of the box. Again, most people won't care to tell you about that, but I mean, if a company spends a little bit of extra money for these two dividers, you know, it's a good sign. I think they'll take care of you. They're not going to skimp on stuff. Here is the Z6 Ultra Clean Gloss Enhancer. This is essentially, you know, what most of you are going to know this as is the quick detailer. Again, it's got UV guard in it as well. What interests me, again, we're out here in Texas, we don't have any rain, it's basically a desert. You know, I go to work, there's a grain elevator nearby. Essentially, what all that means in layman's terms is it's dusty. I can wash a car, doesn't matter if it's black, hemi orange, B5, stone white, whatever shade. You take it out, I mean, obviously it'll conceal better, but I mean, you can do a perfect wash job, go out, and time you leave work, you know, 6:30, you're covered in dust. It's not cool. Then you got to go in, you're going to go to a show or an event, you got to run a quick, you know, basically a duster over it. That works great, you know, gets the shine back, pulls the dust off, but it also then attracts more dust, so you basically started an endless cycle until the next wash job when you can go and be disappointed again. What this does, and what I'm the most excited about, you can read this right here: anti-static formula repels dust. I've heard that before, I've never seen it actually work. If it did, I wouldn't be buying this, obviously. This stuff is pretty amazing. We got a guy in the club, he sprayed it on a few members' cars at events, and it's led them to purchase the Z6. I just went ahead and popped for the full kit. We'll do the Mopar 10, wash it down here in a little bit. If we can, it might be too hot. So again, I'm very excited to see if that works. That basically wraps it up. What you get for the Z Kit 2 for $116.95. It's actually more cost efficient than tacking on the leather cleaner and tire shine. You get one, you know, the box kind of shows they care about what they do. Very quick shipping. I had it in 2 days. That's kind of rare for where we're located. The Z6 Quick Detail is what we'll call it. We've got the Tire Gloss Z16, our Z7 Show Car Wash, our Z18 Clay Bar, 2 bars, and then we have our other special items for the ultimate kit: Z9 and Z10 leather cleaner and conditioner, and then of course the Z10 will also restore that leather smell for us. The Z5 polish for swirl marks and scratches. The Z2 polish, which is just their typical show car polish. And then we also get the ZFX flash cure accelerator, which is important, you know, 1 for your first application of Z5 or Z2, and 2 if you plan to layer it. That'll actually let you do it quickly. There is a setup time on this stuff. We got some directions. Got 3 of the 4x5 custom Zaino applicators, border free, and we got this nice little Zaino decal you can stick somewhere. So for the money, you're looking at about $120 here. The thing is, a lot of this is concentrated, so you're going to get a lot of use out of it, maybe more so than something else. But this is what you get when you buy the Z Kit 2 Ultimate Show Car Protection Kit. Now we're going to use it, try it out, let you know what we think. For more information, check out the website, LoneStarMopars.com. We will catch you next time.